In the last two tutorials, we introduced you to exchange-traded bonds and Sukuk, which are commonly referred to as just bonds. We also talked about yield to maturity, YTM, as a gauge for average rate of return for a particular bond. Throughout this video, we shall mention yield to maturity simply as yield. Each bond comes with its own default risk, so it's always good to do a little research on the bond you want to invest in. Now, let's look at ways we can determine the creditworthiness or default risk of an issuer and a bond. First, let's look at how bond yield acts as an indicator of default risk. Relatively speaking, bonds which have higher perceived default risk would normally have higher yields to compensate for the higher risks. That's simple and intuitive enough, but sometimes bond yields move higher due to other factors even as default risks remain the same. So, what other ways could help you determine the creditworthiness of an issuer? Another easy way is to refer to the credit rating of the issuer, given by rating agencies like Malaysian Rating Corporation, Rating Agency Malaysia, or international rating agencies like S&P, Moody's, and Fitch. A credit rating is an assessment of the creditworthiness of a borrower based on several parameters. Bond issuers are periodically assessed by rating agencies based on the respective methodologies. An issuer's credit rating can range from the safest of AAA to C. This provides investors a quick way to make an informed decision. However, rating agencies may not be accurate all the time. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis, many debt securities which were rated AAA by rating agencies defaulted. On top of that, many bonds nowadays are issued without a rating. As such, a savvy investor should also do his or her own financial analysis on the issuer that he or she is considering even with the presence of a credit rating. While one looks at the attributes like earnings potential of a company when deciding to invest in equity, an investor should also look at financial measures that tell him or her if a company has healthy cash flow and strong ability to pay back its debts. This includes issuers' debt-to-equity ratio, free cash flow, cash from operation, quick ratio, profitability, and so on. So be smart and know the facts. Remember, however you choose to invest, it's always good to know what you're getting into first. To find out more about ETBS, visit Bursa Academy, www.bursaacademy.bursamarketplace.com. This video is for educational purposes only and not intended as investment advice.